Hey, One World Entertainment, and as we know, Captain America Brave New World is on its way, and the box office tracking has been terrible for this movie. On top of the budget that this movie has, and what it needs to make to actually break even, things are not looking good, and pre-sale tickets are not selling. Despite what you might hear from some shills out there who's saying, oh, my cinema is completely booked out. Of course it is, because you're downtown LA. But everywhere else, and I literally mean everywhere else, this thing is not selling. But now we have possibly the biggest coat piece you could possibly think of. Because not just are they trying to hype up this movie and trying to say, oh, the new trailer is getting people excited, they're also trying to say that the opening weekend, the estimates are a good thing, but on top of that, they are now trying to bullcrap us with what the budget of this movie is. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at this, and it is just a big fluff piece and massive cope, which comes not just from this piece, but from the trades, because they talk about trades in this. So let's dive into this. So, we're now just 3 weeks away from the release of the next Marvel Studios movie, Captain America Brave New World, and the latest box office tracking predictions for Sam Wilson's Anthony Mackie first big screen outing as the Sentinel of Liberty are in. Early estimates pointed to a debut of 81 million to 107 million, and it's now looking more like 90 to 95 million over the combined Valentine's Day / President's Day weekend. Now, before we continue, the 81 million, that was meant to be from 81 to 95. That was for the 3 days. To go up to the 107, that was for the 4 days. Now they're saying it's actually going to come in between 90 and 95 for the 4 days. That is terrible. But check this out. So it says, if the movie does take in 90 million or more, it will claim the 5th biggest President's Day launch, behind the first Black Panther, Deadpool, Quantumania, Ant-Man that is, and get this, 50 Shades of Grey. Not exactly a Deadpool and Wolverine level bow, which was always unlikely, but the trades are reporting that Brave New World had a relatively modest production budget for a Marvel Studios movie, at least of 180 million before marketing. Okay, we're just going to come back to that in a minute. So though the most recent trailers have seemed to go over a lot better than the initial teaser, anticipation for the film has been somewhat muted. Mixed to negative test screenings, reports, and word of extensive reshoots haven't helped. And it remains to be seen if the fourth Cap movie, and first without Steve Rogers, can keep the momentum going after Deadpool and Wolverine's record-breaking box office run. And then of course they tell you tickets are on sale. And you'll notice every single article that talks about Captain America lately, all are telling you tickets are on sale. Even the shills, if you look at their videos, they're trying to tell you, get your tickets, you gotta get your tickets. But get them before they book out. It's like, okay, relax there. I know you're a Disney shield, but you're not actually working for Disney in terms of they're not bringing you into the office and giving you massive checks, so cool your jets there on the whole. You gotta buy your tickets. The funny thing as well is, if any of you's watched Nerdrotic, you'll have seen that he is speaking with people who work within Disney and Marvel and have said to them, and this is what they're thinking is hilarious when they're watching the shills go like, oh, the trailers are so exciting, this movie's going to be great, blah blah blah. It's that inside of Marvel and Disney, they're actually looking at it going, this thing is terrible, we need to just get this out there and get rid of it, because it's shockingly bad. So the fact that the shills are trying to defend it while inside Disney, they're like, yeah, this is terrible. Now, with the whole trades thing saying it's got a modest budget of only $180 million. Okay, well, is the marketing then about $240 million? Because this movie cost just under, if not over, $400 million to make. didn't cost 180. Not just did it not cost 180, but when they made it the first time, because we know they shot it twice, it wasn't even 180. It was over 200. So where in the name of all that's holy are the trades getting this thing off? The movie cost $180 million before marketing. That is insane. Especially when every single report that has come out has told us that it is pretty much in and around $376 million. That's quite the leap from 180. So where did all that extra money come from all of a sudden? No, the movie costs almost, and it probably, let's be honest here, it probably actually costs over 400 million. Because that 375 or 76 was actually reported off the filming of the first part of it, and then when they refilmed the whole thing. That doesn't include the additional reshoots that they did, which they were also doing back in November and December. So where exactly the trades are getting this magical number of it only costs 180 million is beyond me. As is the whole thing of them trying to say if it makes 90 to 95 million on 4 days is gonna be great for it. That will be the 5th biggest President's Day launch. Do you remember previously, only a couple of weeks ago, when these numbers came out, they said it would actually be the 2nd biggest opening behind for a Captain America movie. Remember that? Now all of a sudden it's the 5th biggest in President's Day, but they're putting it against movies that are massive. Like, here's the thing, right? They're talking about if it makes between 90 and 95 million dollars, that it comes in behind Black Panther. Black Panther opened over that 4 day with $242.2 million. Deadpool opened with $152.1 million. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, the whole disaster that thing is, opened with $120.4 million. And 50 Shades of Grey opened with $93.1 million. So if this thing in 4 days can only drag in 90 million, that would put it behind 50 Shades of Grey. Now, it's probably going to be in and around that 95. Does it hit the 100? Possibly. Does it get to triple digits in the 100, like 110 or so? I don't think so. Not to mention the fact that while they're trying to say 95 would be great for this movie, it'll make it the 5th biggest opening on President's Day. It would also be one of the biggest disasters for Marvel, seeing as the movie costs in and around 400 million to produce. And you're going to tell me you're meant to get excited if it opens at 95 million? Yeah. Things are not looking good for this movie. And again, the tickets, the pre-sale tickets are not selling. That's where they're starting to get these estimated numbers from. Like when they're starting to hone in on, okay, these were our estimates, but it's looking like it's actually going to be this. That is from the ticket sales. That is what they can see. And that is what's giving them that 90 to 95 number. So yeah, this thing is going to be an unmitigated disaster for Marvel. And they've done it to themselves. In all fairness, they did it to themselves. They've no one else to blame. But of course, once it fails, it'll be all, it's the far right people. Oh, it's because Trump is back in office. That's why it's gone nuts. Oh, it's all the racists and stuff. Even though they even mention Black Panther was one of the biggest openings on the President's Day of over $200 million. And that movie went on to gross over $1 billion. Where were all the racists then? They take the week off? Cope. That's all it is. It's pure, unfiltered cope. And it's going to come back and bite them in the ass. So, with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.